just a second. I'm trying to get my earpods to work.
Can you do a beatbox intro?
You there?
Can you do the beatbox intro?
Bryson Scissor G. Let's get it. Tighten up. Tighten up, Bryce.
Tighten up.
Tighten up, my guy. How's everything?
It's German Titans, not Tennessee Titans tonight.
Let's get it.
I got the German Titans shirt on tonight.
That's awesome. I
So
don't have one of those.
they actually sent this shirt to me. And it got here the week after I went to the game. So that's pretty cool. Um, so let's so
Yeah, that's
let's
such a cool shirt.
we got a guest.
Oh, we do, huh?
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about the season with you. And whoever the guest is.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. It's not letting me add him in the stream, which is weird. Hey, hey, CJ, you gotta go. Oh, there you go. I was like, what the heck? CJ, can you hear us?
Yes,
What's up?
doing great. I'm just trying to get my camera and microphone right.
Yeah, me too. Trying to hook up my earbuds and make it sound good.
You sound good.
Me or him.
If any, if
Nice.
anybody,
You hear
if
everybody?
if anybody is in the chat, push number one if you can hear us. Push number two if you can't hear us.
I can hear you, Bryce. You sound good.
I sound loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's jump right into it. All right.
Let's get
Let,
it, Bryce.
let's
Tighten
jump.
up.
Let's jump right into it. We got the Bears week one. So we all know what time that game is. It's at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central, and 10 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah. 10 o'clock in the morning for me.
That must suck.
Nah, shoot. That's just life. Sometimes you got to get up and get it going. It's for the Titans. It's no problem. I've had shifts where I got off at 6 in the morning and had to wake up and watch them at 10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to see your boys. You know.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah. So what are you thinking about that Bears game, Bryce?
I think we're gonna go out there and dominate that one. I think we're gonna. I think Will Levis is gonna put up 3 touchdowns and 300 yards in that game. Patrick Spears, the man himself, is gonna run for 150 yards.
Let's go.
Okay, Bryce, my turn.
And and 2 touchdowns.
What you got, CJ?
So you want to know how I feel about how that game could go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Or
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, so that game can go either go this way or that way. It could go really well or really poorly. I don't care about how much PTSD this fan base has. This team has fooled me before. Like we could just have a normal, just average day. Willows can have like 3 touchdowns, no picks, or at least 2 picks and 1 touchdown. Because we still just don't know what could happen. Just week 1 is just an anomaly.
Yeah. I'm a Titans fan. I've seen a lot of weird things happen in the first game of the season. I've seen us up by a couple of scores. The team come back and beat us. I've seen us down by some points and us come back in home openers. So they're very unpredictable. And the wild card being Caleb Williams having to go against that unknown commodity in the NFL. You got tape on him at USC. What's he going to do in the NFL? How much is he going to play in the preseason? He's the wild card. How good could he be? Or could our defense just come out and surprise him because he's a rookie and catch him off guard? I think if we want to be, competing at the end of the season, I think we kind of need to win this game. Though this is I know it's just the first game of the season, but it could be a big statement to the rest of the league that the Titans aren't just going to fall over if we could actually just come out with 1-0.
Titans are gonna go 1-0 in that game for sure, Chris. I'm gonna call it right here.
Nice.
Titans will score 30 points. No debating. No
And then
debating that.
I don't know how this fan base would be if we went 4-0 into the bye. Would be so different.
yeah, the NFL is such a hard league though that even if you are 4-0 though, teams can still come back and knock you out of contention. You still got to bring it. So even if we were optimistic, I think we would be like the talk of the league. But at the same time, you can't even get content after being 4-0 in this league because it's such a tough league.
It's definitely a tough league, but what I'm gonna say is the Titans could easily go 3-1.
Well, you want to talk about week 2, September 15th against the Jets,
Yeah,
the
but
home opener?
the the Jets are gonna be kind of tough, but I think that the Jets uh like 3 years ago we played against them and we lost that game. I was hoping we would come back and win that game, but unfortunately we just couldn't get it. We just couldn't pull it together.
Half of that team wasn't there. They're not here now.
And how you doing, Maximus Titans fan? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome.
You got any thoughts because you missed out? We were talking about the Bears. Did any thoughts on the Jets game, or even the Bears game? You can do both right now if you want to say what you think about the Bears and the Jets game.
Yeah, man. Basically, the Bears game's gonna. I think they're still gonna be trying to figure out who they are even in week 1. So I think we take that victory pretty easily. And the Jets, yeah, I have us walking away with a victory. Also, they're putting a lot of faith in Aaron Rodgers and kind of putting all their eggs in that Aaron Rodgers basket, as I like to call it. And I'm not a huge fan. So we'll see how that works out for him.
I'm really not. I'm really not a huge fan of. I'm not a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers, but I've always liked him, all this and that. But uh, I'm not a huge fan of his the way he throws the ball. He throws the ball at a weird angle.
But on those Titans Twitter nerds saying that he throws the ball like Aaron Rodgers just because of that one training clip.
But we'll see. We'll see about that.
Bryce,
So,
what's your prediction for that game?
what's my prediction for the game? The Titans will score 30, 30 points again.
We're scoring 30 points in back-to-back games.
Hey, you never know.
It's
Callahan, new
been,
system,
it's
new
been,
weapons.
it's been way too long since the Titans scored 30 points.
Listen, I'll believe it when I see it.
CJ, what you got on the Jets game? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I just think that it's probably gonna go down to the wire, not as much as we think it is. Just expect the unexpected, and as long as we just stay healthy from the turf from the field, we should be good. Or wait, we're playing a home game, so that should be
Yeah, that's
really
our
good.
game, but still, that we have that weird turf at home. I'm wondering, the league put all their eggs in the basket for the Jets too. I think they have like 6 like primetime games or something, which is stupid if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again or if he throws out his Achilles or if he even, we'll see how good a shape he's in coming into a hot city like Nashville, having to play, where our fan base will be jacked up because they usually get really loud in that first home game. So I would love it if we could win that game somehow at
So,
home.
Chris, what game do we have next, buddy?
It's another home game against the Green Bay Packers at noon, which I think a lot of people are going to have Green Bay power ranked in the top 5 in the NFL as one of those teams that people think is really going to be good.
I say we kind of fall off in that game, and then we come back in the second half, and then we win the game in the second half. We kind of fall off in the first half of that game, but so are you ready for the score prediction?
Whatever, man. Go for it. Lay it on us.
The Titans will score 28 points in that game, not 30, because the Jets are a little. I mean, not the Jets, but the Packers are a little tough, they, but they have a good quarterback over there. They got Jordan Love. They got Christian Watson, the wide receiver, and he's really good. So I can't remember who the tight end is. What is it, Chris?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they added Josh Jacobs, though. They do have a good tight end. I'm not sure off the top of my head either. I don't remember. But
Uh, I know Jordan Love is. I mean, he's a pretty he's a decent quarterback, but he's not he's not Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but he will win the first half of the game, and then Will Levis will come out in the second half and actually win that game for us. And look, I have us losing the. I don't actually. You know what? I'm gonna go back on the Jets, but I have us losing that game actually close. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back on that one. So I have us losing that game. Um, 27-28. Jets win that one.
brutal.
That one's a split. That one's a, that one's a hard one.
And what do you have us doing in the Green Bay game?
I have us still winning the Green Bay game. Yes. So, Chris, what's your thoughts about the Green Bay game, and how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think Jordan Love. You said he's not Pat Mahomes, but he's getting on up there in the quarterback rankings. You got to put him, if not the top 5, in your top 10 in the NFL. So he's ascending, and you put him with like Josh Jacobs. That's going to be a scary offense. And Christian Watson is ascending as well. And depending on what they did in their draft, they may have added some guys that we don't know about because we're diehard Titans fans. And it's another game at home. It should be hot out there. I probably would if I had the knife to my neck, I would have to say I think Green Bay might take that one. But Maximus, what do you think about that Green Bay game?
Yeah, man. This one I hate to say it, but yeah, I think we're gonna lose this one. Just because I think Matt LaFleur, since Aaron Rodgers left, and you don't have to compete with that crazy ego. I think that
Mhm.
Jordan Love's just gonna flow into his offense a lot better, and I think it's gonna make the team better, and I think they're gonna be just a handful this year. I think they're gonna surprise people.
I forgot that Matt LaFleur was our former offensive coordinator. I forgot about that, guys. Y'all didn't tell me that.
CJ, you think we can beat Green Bay?
What do you think?
I mean, Matt LaFleur remembers when we scored. They scored 40 points on us, and then we were the last team. That was our last win after Thanksgiving. About not getting a single win that year, but it, I just think that you see, I just take games as like, how am I gonna feel after this game? Because I know this is gonna be just very stressful. But I think we can win it just narrowly, at least like 24-19, that type of score.
So who do we?
We have
we
the Miami Dolphins on the road in hot
oh,
Miami, September 30th, Week 4 at 6:30 p.m.
Miami's going down. I don't care what anyone says. Miami is going down. He's gonna make freaking Devontae Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons are gonna make that tiny ass little tuna fish quarterback look like a
Talking about Tua.
yeah.
I uh, so for
With
the
Jerry
Miami,
Sneed, with Jerry Sneed and Cheetos gonna pick him off 3 times in that game each for three interceptions for both of them.
I feel like if you're a Titans fan, for if we're going into the Miami game, I feel like you kind of have to lose this game to get that reality check, at least because I think we need to really have a good loss with a bad,
What
just a.
what Jerry Sneed shut down Tyreek Hill. What Jerry Sneed made Tyreek Hill look like a sandbox out there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, for the Miami game, I feel like we have to lose that to just bring some adversity. Now, I'm not saying that we Titans, just the idea of Titans lose is just a bad thing. I just think we need that game to lose and just like to learn from it going into the bye, because I don't think I don't want to see this fan base go 4-0 into the bye and we're just having these out of proportion expectations. That's how I feel.
What what Jerry Sneed actually down shut down
He shut down everybody last year.
even Tyreek Hill in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a clip that they played of that, and that was a big deal. And when the players were watching, oh no, we lost Bryce.
Oh no.
What are you thinking about Miami, Maximus?
Um, Miami is honestly, Miami's not going to be happy with us because of what we did last year. And we came back in the fourth quarter. I think it was within like 3 minutes or 4 minutes and won that game. So I really feel like we're going to get Miami's best. And I think Miami's best against our best this year. I like their chances just a
I
smidge
don't
better.
I don't I don't I don't I don't want Miami to win that game. I want the Titans to go out there and just dominate that game and destroy Miami and make Tua look like a little kid out there.
Yeah, maybe there's some Miami magic with Will Levis because of the way he played and won that game last year. I could see us rolling in there in another primetime game and having their number, just like a lot of NFL teams do sometimes. And the offense that we ran in the final 4 minutes, like that
Mi-
Tajay Spears out of the background. Now we got Tony Pollard to go with that, and we're splitting those backs out.
Miami. It's because Miami fans did that thing. Remember the Titans? Which one of you little dipshits did that?
Wait,
What, on Twitter?
remember
Yeah.
was
Wasn't
that one?
me.
Was that the remember the Titans dance or touchdown dance they did?
CJ, what do you think?
Listen, bros, I think we shouldn't really win that game because I just want us to just have a sense of reality going into the season. Like, I would just like at least lose by at least 2 scores, like around a 27-14 type game.
And then watch the Titans. The Titans will go into the bye at 2-2, right?
Yep, that's where it should be.
I would never wish for the Titans to lose a game, no matter what. So I would, regardless of how it impacts them, I wouldn't want to say that I would want us to lose by anything ever under any circumstance or situation.
And
then
I know what you're saying, though.
we have the bye after Miami Dolphins game, and that bye week is early as hell. Nobody likes the bye week that early, but
at least we don't have the Chiefs' Christmas schedule.
oh
Yeah.
god, that
Or
would
the
be bad.
49ers teams coming off a bye schedule.
I just nobody likes that. Nobody likes the bye week that early, but unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm not a schedule picker. I don't pick the games. I'm not picking the games. I'm saying, that's a little too early. The national media never gives us any type of respect, and they disrespect the Titans, all this and that. So, and it's like how are we gonna win 2 games, man? How?
Because they don't watch our games.
They don't watch our games, and the fact that they're doing this, they don't pay attention to the Titans.
That's fine. You have to make them pay attention. You don't get respect unless you earn it. And, that's what this team's mission is because we haven't finished the last 2 years worth of damn. So we don't really deserve too much.
Um,
And a lot of people think we're going to suck, which is fine with me because, like
I don't think
TJ said,
so.
they don't keep up with us. They're just following the peripheral, what they get,
They
fumes
follow the
of what they
stats.
pick up.
Hey, Chris. So I'm gonna ask you. What do you think about all the disrespect they've been giving us and everything? So I'm
Oh,
gonna
it's
ask.
been happening for almost 30 years, ever since they've been the Titans. It's never changed. It's always been because of the perceived market value of the franchise. We're considered a small market team, and Nashville's getting bigger, but our fan base is somewhere around in between the most, like, I'd say,
70,
like 15 to 20 range of popularity. We're not the most popular, and we're not the least popular.
70,000.
Well, that's our stadium, but we have a good presence online, and we're pretty
The new
clever,
stadium
and
always
we're an
have.
interesting online community on Twitter and stuff like that. We get a lot of innovative people that follow our team and do a lot of funny stuff online. And as far as social media goes, we're pretty good, but we're still
So,
disrespected.
Chris, I'm actually gonna clip this and make it a YouTube short. I'm gonna make YouTube shorts on my YouTube channel, and I'm gonna put YouTube shorts and all kinds of different stuff. I'm gonna
Heck yeah.
actually screen record this after this is over, so that way we can. So Chris, um, I'm gonna. So you can do one and I can do one, and then you can send me one and I can save it to my phone or whatever. And we um you can Chris, um I'll just um so I love having you on the YouTube channel, and thank you for taking the time to be my co-host.
Well, you know you're my road dog, Bryce. I love you, buddy.
Well, Haley's in softball season, and she hasn't been able to do any. She hasn't been able to do any of the YouTube channel or whatever. And
Yeah. And I'm thankful for our guests, CJ and Maximus. They're helping us out, hammering out this schedule.
okay,
So,
CJ, what was you gonna ask me, buddy?
Uh, just to go back to the conversation about the national media, ever since our Linsanity 2021 run, when we beat all the good teams but sucked against the bad teams, and then there was a Steelers game. Like you've seen that whenever they talk about us is when we beat the good teams, but when we beat the bad teams, that's when they stop talking about us. And you saw the trend, and that's why I kind of just stopped listening to the national media, because they only care about what's good, but not what's in the middle or down. They'll do the middle for Kansas City and all that type of stuff, but not for us. It's only when it's hype, and it's just it's unfair. But like it is what it is.
Um. So CJ, that's actually a good point there. You made a great point. Actually, I like that point that you made. That's a really good one. What do you think about the point, Chris?
about which one?
CJ's point.
Oh yeah, CJ's been he's obviously a dire Titans fan like I am. We've seen, a lot of what goes on and when they pay attention and like the morning shows and they barely talk about us and they don't even show our highlights. They show the other teams when we even win, they'll show the other teams missing a field goal or whatever, then they'll show the score. They don't really highlight what actually happens a lot. So it's just the way it is for the lower market teams. People that don't follow us, they're not gonna talk about us, and just we have to earn respect. If we come out and go 10-0, then we'll be the talk of the town again, like we were, back when Kerry Collins got us on that route back in
They're not gonna
2008 or
pay
whatever it
attention
was.
to the
We were a very media darling team that year. That was one year that we got a lot of attention, but we started out undefeated. I think we had finished like 13-3. That was before we had 17-game season. But Maximus, national media disrespect on the Titans. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's a thing. It really is a thing. And it's because we're such a small market team. Like you said, we have a huge social media presence. We have really good media people, as far as Mike Keith and McManus and them.
Jim Wyatt's the best, by the way. Go ahead.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, we could sit here all night and list. I could make a good 30-person list of everybody that I follow constantly on a daily basis to get my Titans news or my Titans updates or whatever. And yeah, but the national media just doesn't know because they don't, like you said, they don't really watch us. They don't pay attention to us because and like you said, until we earn it, we're not going to get that. We go out this season and we start, throwing 380-yard games every single game, 4 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, then they'll start saying, "Oh, wow, look what's going on over here in Tennessee." And next year, as long as we keep most of our roster, I think we'll be, one of the talks of the NFL next year. But I don't think it's going to come this year.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta do something real fast.
No worries.
Press mute.
You guys can still talk.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we
Yeah.
covered the national media disrespect, and that was a good time to do it because that was kind of like the bye week of our scheduled conversation. And then after that, we have on October the 13th, we play the Indianapolis Colts at home. It's a noon game. So that will be our first divisional game of the season coming off of a bye, which is a pretty good time to get that. And hopefully we'll be well rested. And that bye week, maybe there'll be a reason why we had it that week. Somebody comes back from missing a game, and hopefully it's good timing. But I'm pretty optimistic about being able to beat the Colts this year. What do you think, CJ?
I want to beat those happy ass horses.
The happy horses. You're back, Bryce. Bryce, what do you think about the Colts game at home?
I think that the Colts are gonna suck this year. Anthony Richardson, they don't know if they have a running back or a quarterback. What are we doing here?
I just think the Colts. I mean, it's a division game. We don't really know what could happen, but just expect maybe fireworks. I think it'll probably be maybe a 30-30 game, and we can compete. We have the team, but it's just whatever we have showing up that day.
Oh, remember the backup left, Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew left the Colts.
Good, because we couldn't beat them twice either.
They got Joe Flacco now. Hopefully we don't have to face the wrath of Flacco. That would be the worst dude ever to lose to. But I think we can handle him, hopefully.
Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why Anthony Richardson doesn't learn how to slide.
He's just a instinctual player that likes to do his thing. I thought he looked pretty dang good last year before he got hurt. I was impressed, honestly.
That throw, like people just don't realize. I just thought that AR was gonna tear us up even worse than Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew was actually better than Anthony Richardson. To be honest with you, I think Gardner Minshew was actually a lot better than Anthony Richardson.
I didn't want to face Anthony Richardson for 4 quarters. I feel like we were doing good, but if we had to face him for that entire game, I was kind of nervous to see what he had with the game on the line because what was it? I don't even know how many games he played last year. There weren't very many.
I think it was like 6.
And the last game was against us, right?
So Chris, no, the last game is the last.
No, it was the last game that Anthony Richardson didn't he get hurt against us?
Yeah, but he also
Yeah.
got hurt in a little bit in the Texas game and a little bit in the Jaguars game.
Maximus, what do you think about the Colts game? And
Yeah, I'll be real honest with you, man. I think we're going to do well against the Colts this year. I am kind of like Bryce. I don't think they're going to be very good this year. And as far as Anthony Richardson goes, he reminds me a lot of Vince Young. But he looks like he's surrounded by a little bit better of a supportive cast than Vince Young had. Not to downplay any of the coaching staff or any of the mess that was going on with the Titans front office at that time. But I think if he'd had a lot better circumstances, there would have been a lot better product.
Hold on, Matt. They actually say he's actually faster than Lamar Jackson, and he's not.
I'd like to see those dudes race, to be honest with you.
He's a long strider, so he doesn't look. He's deceptively fast. It's much like Vince Young when he would take those long strides, and it didn't look like he was running very fast, but still he's running almost.
His
20
rookie
mile
year,
an
Vince
hour.
was scrambling like crazy. That was his best year running the ball. But I just wish we had a coaching staff back then that would have embraced the offense that he ran in Texas, kind of like they do now in the NFL. You imagine if you had a non-stubborn coach, he would have probably sky would have
Not
been the
with
limit if he could have been
man,
drafted with a better situation.
and he had CJ2K in the backfield. Oh my goodness, yeah,
Lindell too.
that could have been amazing.
It was
So,
amazing too. What's up, Bryce?
so this, I liked watching those older games. I always go back and look at some of the older games. It's always fun to watch the highlights, but man, those highlights are awesome. They were, they were, um, they were pretty cool. Um, I like to watch the, I like to watch the Indianapolis Colts against the Tennessee Titans back in the '99 season where we went to the AFC divisional round against the Indianapolis Colts.
We swept the division that year. I think we beat everybody in the division that year.
Hold on, Chris. I wasn't finished, buddy, and we beat the Indianapolis Colts in that game, right?
In the playoffs, 3 times.
Yeah. That was
Oh, they
Jacksonville
weren't in our
three
division that year.
times, and
Oh, you're right.
and so what I'm trying to say is we actually beat the Colts in the divisional round and
Yes.
in the playoffs
Yeah.
against Peyton Manning, and uh, what was the running back's name? I can't
Eddie
remember.
George, that was his best
George, yeah.
run in the playoffs, and they had Edgerrin James, who was also a beast.
That Eddie George had that 68-yard touchdown.
My dad was at that game.
Um, that was like I think that was like third, like the third quarter.
Yeah, that's when you knew we were probably going to win that game. I think
Well,
that's Peyton Manning's second year in the NFL.
uh, so, Chris, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Colts are not gonna be any good this year. I don't trust Anthony Richardson as my quarterback going into year two. And here's the reason why. It's, um, I'm gonna say it's it's gonna be kind of hard for him to throw the ball against us because we got Chidovio Awuzie and we got Cheeto on the Rajay Sneed on the other side to shut the wide receivers down. I think that I think that's gonna be and look at our wide receivers. They only have they only have Michael Pittman Jr. What what is he gonna do against our cornerbacks? Nothing.
Yeah, we got some serious cornerbacks. I got to watch Jarvis Lee today a little bit. He's going to be good too. We got a lot of good players. I wonder if Caleb Farley will contribute or get cut or
So Chris,
ride the bench all year.
we're gonna make Michael Pittman Jr. look slower than Donkey Kong.
We'll shut him down. I hope so, buddy.
I think Michael I think Michael Pittman Jr. reminds me a little bit of Donkey Kong. I see his face on the field.
He got paid pretty good this offseason, didn't he?
Yep, 3 years, 70-something million.
He's a little bit faster than Donkey Kong. But no, I
But
hope we shut him
but
down. We got
Jay
some.
Sneed, but
We
Jay
still got to sign
Sneed
a
is
safety,
gonna
though. Dang it.
but Jay Sneed is gonna make him look like Donkey Kong for real.
I can't wait to see L'Jarius Sneed on his blitz packages. I think he's going to be like having an extra weapon to get at the quarterback all year long. It's going to be fun watching that.
Well, Darius Sneed is actually going to shut down all the wide receivers this year.
Yep. He's going to be a blitzing mayhem man, too. He's a maniac. I watched his tape, and I've always liked watching him. Every playoff, he gets better and better.
That's enough about the Colts. Now let's move on to the other one.
So October the 20th at 12 o'clock Central, we got the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Keon Coleman and Josh Allen.
I'm gonna let CJ have the floor first, okay?
Okay, so we're at Buffalo. Last time we were there, it was just not good, not good. But that was at night. We're just gonna get it over with and be in the morning. But I think we can easily lose this game because we can't doubt Josh Allen what he can do, and who knows if like he's gonna have that chemistry like built right now with Keon Coleman, and I don't know how they think they're gonna be good with MVS and Chase Claypool, but they should be able to at least figure it out. But I think Bills can at least like sweep away with the win, at least a very close win, at least like 27-24.
What?
You got the Bills winning that one?
Yep.
Yeah. I might have the Bills winning that one as well because I just don't think we can beat the Bills, to be honest with you, Chris. So we cannot sit here and doubt Josh Allen. Josh Allen is pretty good, but remember the last time in Nashville he slipped against the Titans and Big Jeff. Big Jeff. I'm actually gonna say we win that game. Never mind, then I'm gonna actually put us as a win. I think we're gonna go in there. I think we're gonna go in there, and Jay Sneed is gonna shut down the wide receivers again. Remember, they don't have Stephon Diggs.
That's why they drafted Keon Coleman. Maximus, what do you think about the Bills game?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. I think their addition by subtraction this year with the Stephon Diggs, I think that was honestly a cancerous part of their locker room. So I think they're actually going to be better this year than they were last year. I think this is week 6. They're going to have everything figured out by this point. McDermott's not a rookie. You know what I mean? Allen's not a rookie. I think there'll be a tough one. It'll be a close game, I think, but I think the Bills will end up winning that game.
I have us winning that game 27-24. Titans win it.
I mean, CJ kind of made me realize they do have kind of like a wide receiver gumbo going on up there. Like it's maybe not, even though they lost Diggs, I don't know that that they're that special. If our defense can shut them down and we can shut down their running game with Devondre and Big Jeff, depending on our defense goes. And one other beautiful thing about going to Buffalo on October 20th is that we're not there on December 20th. So we kind of got lucky on that. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, thank God we're in Buffalo in October and not later in the year when it's freezing cold. And that gives us a better chance to win. I would be thrilled if we could sneak a win away from the Bills up there.
So, Chris, I'm going to get a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. We'll start talking about the next week. We stay on the road and we go to Detroit, who is supposed to be a top 3 team in the NFL next year, probably by a lot of prognostications. And that will be the Week 8 game in Detroit on the road after going to Buffalo. So, CJ, you can kick it off again while Bryce is getting a drink.
Okay, so we're going into Detroit and Ford Field. I think it all depends on if the Lions are like on a hot streak and like if they're on their villain arc from what they left last year with losing to the NFC Championship. But I just think that you know if the Detroit Lions are on a roll, I don't think we can stop them. I think we can get like absolutely smacked in the mouth. So we just need to just keep ourselves straight and just fight and fight and just till the end.
Maximus, what do you think about Detroit?
Yeah,
Um,
Detroit is going to be really good this year. So I'll keep it short and sweet. I think Detroit's going to be top 3 uh, NFC team. So sorry, man. I got us at a loss again.
um, I I think we lose that game as well. It's gonna be kind of crisp. I think that the Titans can possibly win that game, but look, they got good wide receivers over there. They got a good quarterback and Jared Goff, and they have Josh Reynolds. They have Khalif
St. Brown.
Raymond. Um, so Chris, they have some pretty good weapons over there, and look, they have some really dynamic weapons over there. I,
Jared Goff got paid a lot of money, I think.
I was actually so Chris. I was actually live streaming that game, and I did a couple play by play for that game, and I did I did some play by play on Facebook, and it was actually pretty fun to do. But
Yeah, I think we could. I'm gonna put the energy out there that I hope we go in, just because I always want to win every game. I hope we go in there and some Will Levis magic in Detroit, and he goes off up there, and we get upset somehow. I would love to put that out in the universe and to hope that that happens somehow, because that would get our fan base really, really jacked up if we can win that game. But obviously, no one's gonna be picking us to win that game right now unless we come out, out of the gates as a surprise team in the NFL. People are going to be, all over Detroit on that one.
I'm guessing it's probably gonna be like a 9 point differential.
Oh yeah, depending on how good Detroit is and whether or not they can live up to the hype. But I like what they got going on up there.
I think Jerry Sneed is going to shut down their wide receivers.
Full on beast mode all year for L'Jarius. Complete shutdown of every player would be amazing if he continued doing what he's been doing. He's with a new team now and a new defense, and it's not going to be exactly what he was doing with Spagnuolo. But I hear that this new defense is very aggressive, so I think I picture him a lot of the time going up to the line and
So Chris, we got some strong dogs on our team this year. We got Vijay Sneed, we got Cheeto, we got
Devondre,
Robert
we're adding him.
We got Devondre Sweat, which is I'm gonna call Devondre Sweat a bulldog.
He's a beast. He's gonna be if he just gets his cardio up.
And so look, Chris, I think we can win I think we can possibly win the Lions game, but that's gonna be a tough battle. But it's gonna be I don't it's gonna be kind of hard to look at that game because they're pretty good right now.
Yeah, I agree. We finally get to come back home on November 3rd against the New England Patriots, Week 9, 12 o'clock game.
I don't care what anyone says. We're gonna beat their ass. We're gonna make. We're gonna
Who's going to
make
be
them.
their starting quarterback? Is it going to be the
Oh,
rookie?
it's gonna be Drake May.
Yeah.
Drake May. It's gonna be the starting quarterback. Drake May is gonna look like a freaking piece of
Is
piece
his
of
backup Jacoby Brissett? Does anybody know? Is that who the
a
backup is?
piece of flat celery on
Yep.
the ground.
I mean, battles a battle it out, but it should be Drake, then him, then Joe Milton.
Oh, that's right. That's cool. They'll let him come out and throw some Hail Marys this year, I bet.
So Chris, I actually have us winning that. I actually have us winning that game. 30, 31, 38 to 20 to 20 to 21. Titans win that one.
CJ, what do you think? New England game at home.
I just think we should be able to beat them. I think just do what we have to do. Just handle your business against bad teams. Should be able to do it. And just get it done. 30. My score is 30 to 20.
Maximus.
Yeah, I think honestly, just like thinking about it, yeah, Drake May is going to be the starter by this point in the year probably, and I don't think they're going to have things quite figured out. I could be wrong, but I think we're going to walk away with a win against the Patriots.
They probably make that our homecoming weekend and bring all the players back because they think that that's probably our best chance of, securing a guaranteed win. They probably a lot of people that think New England will be, if not the worst team in the league, one of the bottom 5 teams. So I feel like we got to win that game at home.
I think Chris, we're definitely gonna work our way up. Don't worry about that. We're gonna definitely work our way up as soon as we start stacking up those W's. I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna start working our way up, and we're gonna really shock the national media and light a fire under their ass.
I'm down. So we're all in agreement on that one. And then after that, November 10th, week 10, it's a 3:05 kickoff in Nashville time because the Titans are going to be going to LA to play the LA Chargers in a game that I hope to personally attend because I live in California and I'm looking forward to that week. Jim Harbaugh will be the coach of the Chargers. So there'll be a little bit of extra buzz in the air depending on how good their team is doing and
I
what they
think
look
we
like.
win the Chargers game. I'm gonna say we win the Chargers game. We're gonna make Justin Herbert look like a freaking piece of flat celery on the ground.
We better hope Christian Fulton is there.
Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton is gonna look slower than Donkey Kong because he's
He
got
won't be able to cover Ridley. I know that.
No.
Calvin Ridley. Put Calvin Ridley on Christian Fulton's slow ass.
I'm just gonna say we're gonna win that game because I'm gonna be at that game and I will accept nothing less than a win if I'm there. So
I hope good wishes on how to park.
Well,
what at the
James,
Chargers game?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
because
not gonna be driving a car. I'm gonna fly in and stay at the airport Marriott and take
then
an
you're
Uber
gonna.
there and back.
well, James Sneed, James Sneed and Cheeto are gonna shut down the wide receivers. Look at who they have at wide receiver.
Who do they have? Who's their wide receiver number 1? Does anybody know?
Quinn Johnston.
Oh God.
Keenan Allen, I think.
No,
Well,
he's on the
he went to the
Bears. We got to
Bears.
deal with him week 1.
Oh
And
yeah.
then there's Lad McConkey, and then
Oh, that's right. He'll probably end up becoming their
Mike Williams.
Justin.
No, he's on the Jets now.
Not Justin, but Josh Palmer. It's gonna be one of the worst wide receivers in the NFL. They said.
Yeah, they got a bunch of no-name wide receivers and running backs. I don't know what the hell Harbaugh's thinking. He's got two giant-ass offensive linemen over there.
Just because you don't know their name doesn't mean they can just do numbers on the Titans just out of nowhere.
Well, remember who we got at cornerback, though. I mean, it's usually we get done because we didn't use a lot of resources at that position. This year's a little bit different. When you look at our top three corners, they can go out there and match up, just like our top three receivers. We got some good skill position dudes.
I'm gonna say, give me 35-21 Titans win the Chargers game.
I would love that if I was at that game and that was the score. I think Will Levis will go extra hard because he's in LA trying to show off for the Hollywood crowd too. I would not be surprised.
I think he's showing off to the whole world.
So, Chris, what's your score prediction for the game? And
I say the Titans will win 24-21 on a last-second field goal. Tighten the folk up. It's good.
I think that the Chargers can win that game. And not the Chargers, but whoever we play next. I think we're gonna shut down the Chargers. I think the Chargers are gonna look like childs out there.
We got a big California Titans fan group too. We bring about at least I'd say between 5,000 and 7,000 fans up in there.
I'm in one of them.
Don't they have a Facebook?
Yeah, we got Facebook and a bunch of group chats and stuff. There's a bunch of us that are friends. I'm from Tennessee, but I've lived in California for a long time, so
I'm
it's not
in
like I'm not a Tennessean at heart, but I live in California, so I roll with that crew. And it's surreal to see all that Titan blue in these little cities in California. It blows my mind. It's always like I've died and gone to heaven.
So, Chris, at least you got to see all the good stuff before you moved to California, buddy.
Oh yeah, there's still some good stuff though. I mean, hopefully this is a new era. This is going to be really good. The Mariota Kansas City playoff game where he threw the touchdown to himself, that wasn't too bad. I'll tell you that. And then when we beat the Patriots and the Ravens on the way to the AFC Championship, that was a pretty good year.
We ended the Brady dynasty. Look, we ended the Brady dynasty.
Yeah, so did that Netflix special they did on him the other day too. That was pretty bad for him too. That roast.
I'm only like 45 minutes in. I have too much stuff to do. I had to watch the rest of it.
Oh, it's brutal. It's not safe for work either.
I mean, what did he expect? It's supposed to
exactly right. Don't get mad or be sad about it. What would you? Everybody should expect that. You ever agree to something like that? Just prepare to be humiliated.
Yep.
But so after we play the Chargers November 17th, we go back to Nissan Stadium to play Justin Jefferson and the Minnesota Vikings. And a bunch of those Minnesota people are going to want to come down to Nashville and buy tickets and take over the stadium. We better not let them. Those nice Minnesotans.
I like how you introduced.
I want to beat the Minnesota Vikings. I want to destroy the Minnesota Vikings. I want to make the Minnesota Vikings look like a garbage can.
What were you gonna say, CJ?
I like how you.
So I'm gonna ask you guys. This might go a little off topic, but Who the hell do they have at quarterback?
JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy's gonna look like a kid out there, like a little fifth grader.
We hope so.
But I think Will Levis is gonna win that game easily. Mr. Mayo himself is gonna win that game. Uh, he, he's gonna put up 3 touchdowns, 300 yards in that game.
In every game.
Uh,
Break that record for when Warren Moon or whoever has the franchise record for yards of the season.
Todd, don't forget about Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears can really.
Does anyone think there's a chance that Justin
I think-
Jefferson gets traded before the season?
I think Tajay Spears is going to be the #1 running back, and I don't. So Chris, you already know we've been talking. I've been talking directly to you about this, okay? And I think that Tajay Spears can easily be the running back #1 for this team. And look, Tony Pollard's going to be the #2 coming in. And Device Small is going to be the #3. I would love to keep Device.
We'll see how he does in preseason.
And then Chris, I'm gonna say our score prediction would be 30, 31-18 Titans with that.
Give it to me. I'll take it all day.
Well, Jay Sneed's gonna shut down Justin Jefferson and make him look like a smashed tangerine.
That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. So, Matson, what about you, buddy?
On the
The Vikings.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, they're a mess this year, kind of like I am right now. But the only thing they did right was signing Justin Jefferson. And to be honest, too, I think he's going to get traded, not with $170 million contract. I don't know who they would. I mean, they'd have to pay some of that contract to trade him, in my opinion. I don't know. That's a pretty big number for any team to eat. But anyway, yeah, I think the Vikings are going to be a hard fought game. But I think it's very winnable for the Titans. I actually think that one is one we walk away with the win.
Yeah, I think we win that Vikings game easily, but we're gonna make the Vikings look like we're gonna make the Vikings look like cake, like wet cake with milk.
Making me hungry. That sounds good. Dip some cake and some milk. DJ never got to share his thoughts on the Vikings, so I want to hear what he has to say.
I just think that like this is the part of the season where we should be like we should have things figured out, and we should be able to beat the bad teams and not have heart attacks near the end. So I just think that it should be an easy win, like around like 24-18. Or sorry, like 26-18. That's where it should be around.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing okay at home if we can somehow either beat the Jets and Green Bay at home, and then beat the Colts, the Patriots, and Vikings, if we could win one of those first 2 home games, we could be looking like we normally play good at home anyway. So, got a pretty nice little home schedule so far.
So, Chris, I think we can beat the Vikings easily. I think we can go in there and win that game. And I have us destroying Justin Jefferson. We're gonna make it look like freaking.
Double team his ass if we need to. But, you know.
So who do we have next?
We got your favorite team to beat up on, and the team you want to beat the most this year, the Houston Texans in Houston, Week 12 at 12 o'clock.
Oh God, I don't care what anyone says. We're gonna make the Red Devils look like freaking. Uh, we're gonna make the Red Devils look like. We're gonna make the Red Devils look down in the floor, and we're gonna make the Red Devils so mad that we destroyed their soul.
That'd be nice.
You know they're gonna be wearing them throwbacks or whatever
I
they
was just
call.
about to say that. The ugliest uniforms in the league, they're going to be sporting those.
I don't think they're that ugly. They have an idea. It's just not executed like well.
I think they're ugly as hell.
I
Like,
have
straight
us,
up.
I have us winning that game. I have us winning that game 30. I have us winning that game 45-21 Titans.
Damn. Maximus, what do you think?
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. Nobody is as interested in the Titans as the Texans are. It's ridiculous, man. Ever
They're
since we put
obsessed.
on those Oiler uniforms, they have been obsessed with us. They even changed their uniforms to match ours, which is pretty ridiculous. But unfortunately, in Houston, I think they have the edge on us, and I think that is probably a really hard-fought loss. I hate to say that, but probably true.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you think those H-Town uniforms are?
I give them like a 5 at least.
I'm sorry about that. There's like a lot of Texans fans talking a bunch of bull crap about the Titans.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, Bryce. They are going nuts online. They have been doing that for the last 2 off seasons now. They need to chill out.
It's only because of the Oiler uniform. Like the second we got them ready, then they started talking.
Yeah, as soon as we started making those Oiler drip videos, yeah, they couldn't handle it, man. They just really lost their minds.
Oh, Chris, there's a thing that I do not like about the Houston Texans is they try they try to freaking they try to they try to they try to come at me a little too much about the Houston Oilers uniforms. I'm like, how is that your uniform? Like, get out of here with that. Y'all
Smart business decision by the Adams family to keep that logo, number 1. And it's a beautiful uniform, number 2. So there's no reason why we wouldn't want to preserve it. It's ours because it's a family-owned team, and that's the way the business works. They can kiss my butt. The only thing that sucks about them is they took my boy Danico Autry, and that pissed me off. And I was pissed about Aziz as well, but I'm really mad about Autry because I wanted to keep him. But I wanted to keep Aziz too, and we tried to, but we ended up with Calvin Ridley. So
they
hopefully that
actually
play pays dividends
so
against the
Chris,
Texans.
let me say this. Okay. They actually have their own identity, like Warren Means said the other day in that video with Kay Adams, and look, they have their own identity, and I don't know why they had to do this. They had a great season last year. They didn't have to get those stupid ass uniforms that they got. They can take that freaking stupid ass H and do something with it. Why not make a logo out of? Why
I
not
kind of
make
like
the
that they're
logo on the
honest. So they
field
want to
out
be
of?
us so bad that they had to change their uniform. I think it makes them look pretty pathetic. And if we play them and we beat them in that uniform, they're never going to want to wear that uniform again. So we have a chance to kind of hopefully they wear it against us. I think that would be fantastic.
I have a, I have a sweep in the division for sure.
Let's go.
I have us winning all of the division games for sure.
Well, so after we play the Texans, we do go on the road to Washington D.C. to play the Commanders, who I don't think Marcus Mariota is going to be the quarterback that day. But they did
Um,
sign Mariota. But that is a game that
I've,
hopefully that team won't be very good. Although I do like their
I've
offseason that they had. I
always
think they have a sharp GM and he made a lot of good moves.
I've always liked Mariota. Mariota was my guy from day one that I was a fan of his. And look, was my Mariota was like my Mariota was my favorite quarterback, and Mariota actually. So Chris, let me say this: I'm gonna actually defend Mariota for the people that always hate on him, all this and that. Okay, so Mariota had a couple good seasons, and then look, those injuries happened, and those injuries were his leg, and he was never the same after that injury. And Mariota was one of the great. Mariota had all the potential to be a great quarterback, but look, since he didn't work out here, we brought in Tannehill for a couple of years, and then Tannehill took over for a couple of years, and Tannehill, for the last couple of years, Tannehill was like crap.
I'm
And
not going to
Chris,
argue with you there.
uh, what? So another thing about Mariota is I like Mariota. I really like Mariota. I think Mariota can be a great quarterback for the Washington Commanders team.
Well, I don't know if they're going to let him start or he's just going to be the backup. I think he's just going to be the backup. He might be one of the better backups in the league depending on how you look at that position, but I would rather go with the rookie to be honest with you. I think
Bryce,
Uh,
the Heisman
yeah,
Trophy winner is going to be the starting quarterback out there.
Bryce,
uh, I, so I'm sorry. I really like Mariota, and I think Mariota has. I'm so happy for Mariota that he went to the Commanders, and I hope he goes and wins a couple games there. When I watch him play this year, I'm excited to see what he does with the with the Commanders because I really wanna watch him. I don't like the Commanders, but I like Mariota.
hey Bryce.
Um, CJ.
Yeah, now's not the right time to talk about Mariota because I have to. I'm literally gonna spend at least
You
$24
you
just to watch.
don't you don't you don't you don't have to talk crap about him. You can just talk about the game the way it goes. Okay. Don't talk about Mariota. Mariota was my former Titans quarterback.
y- Yeah, I was still. Yeah, I watched the last 2 seasons of him, but now's not the right time because I'm in queue with a conversation with Haley when going back to Nashville because I'm on the other side. I'll just say it like that, and she is not happy with me.
Well,
But
you're
that's
allowed to
awesome.
have your opinion. I mean, we're all allowed to
We're all
feel
tight,
how we want to
but
about him.
but we don't think, but we don't see the
So,
same thing.
so Chris, we all thought Mariota was gonna be the guy, and look at what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I bought two of his jerseys. I got all in on him and Vince Young, to be honest with you. So I know how it is to have your heart set on him and to be, he's a great guy, you know. But I
So,
think Jalen Daniels is going to be the starting quarterback for the Commanders. I don't think we're going to be playing against Mariota, but if we do, you better root for the Titans, Bryce. That's all I got to say.
I don't. I don't. Haley probably wouldn't want to see me if Mariota was starting in that game.
Probably, she'd definitely be for the Titans, though. We're all like, no matter what, even if we got to play against Marcus, we're going to pull for the Titans.
I don't think I would just root for Commanders. I would just root for Mariota to do like really good.
Oh yeah, we all love him. We know he's a good guy. But I think we beat the Commanders no matter who's playing quarterback that day, because I think unless this kid's like rookie of the year or something in Washington and he's taking the league by storm, which is you never know. He might go out there and set the league on fire. But they better protect him better than they did RG3 his first year. They just kind of let him run loose, and he did great until the playoffs when he got hurt, and then they should have not put him, exposed him like that. So I'm hoping that there's a better plan for Daniels with Washington.
Chris,
And I hope he's not that good because we got to play him.
I think that Will Levis. I think that Will Levis can dominate that game with the Commanders against the Commanders, but Will Levis is gonna shock the Commanders. Will Levis is gonna light a fire under the Commanders' ass.
It's going
He's
to get a little
gonna.
cold out there. It's going to be December 1st, so
Yeah,
weather will start to be a factor. Outdoor stadium, but they're both similar to what we have in Nashville, so hopefully that won't be that big a deal.
Will Levis is. Will Levis is gonna throw for 3 touchdowns and 290 yards. And Tajay Spears will rush for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I would love that. I love Tyjae Spears. That's my guy.
So Tony Pollard is gonna get maybe 50 yards and 1 touchdown.
I think Pollard's going to split 50-50 with Tyjae. I think they're both going to make sure that neither one of those guys gets too many carries so that they both can remain fresh for the entire time. What do you think, Maximus? Do you think it's going to be running back split, or do you think Tajay is going to get the lion's share, or do you think one of those guys is going to end up becoming more reliable and one of them is going to get more carries?
To be honest, in the beginning, I think it's going to be whoever's got the hot hand. But I think towards the end of the season, yeah, we're going to see. I think Tajay's probably going to pull away just a little bit from Tony. Just my prediction, though.
He's got some raw talent. He's got some unique ability, and for his size, the way he averages damn near 5 yards a carry. I don't know how he does it. It's pretty cool to witness, though.
So Chris, I'm gonna say we win that. Are we still on the Vikings game?
No, we're on the Commanders, and then we're moving the week after December 1st. We go to the Jacksonville Jaguars come to Nashville on December 8th, week 14, 12 o'clock kickoff, our first game against the Kitties.
I want to beat the Jacksonville Kitties. Come on now. the Jacksonville Kitties are gonna lose against the Titans big time. Mac and Cheese Jones looks like trash.
You think he's going to be the guy, or do you think it's going to be?
I think
Uh,
it. I think it's gonna be Mac and Cheese.
why do you think? You think Sunshine gets hurt, or whatever they call him?
I don't think Mac and Cheese. I don't think Noodle Arm is the starter. To be honest.
If
To
I'm
be honest.
hoping that Mac and Cheese is playing, I'd be really happy if we got to go against Mac Jones. That would mean that there's an injury at the quarterback position for Jacksonville.
I'm not laughing about the injury, but I'm just saying that Mac and Cheese Jones is gonna be the starter.
Okay. Oh, you're just saying that based on performance, he's going to take over. That'd be amazing.
I'm not very confident in Trevor Lawrence because what Trevor Lawrence doesn't have that arm strength to throw the ball down the field.
He's got decent strength. He hasn't been able to live up to the expectations of what was expected out of him. People thought he might end up, becoming a guy to compete with Pat Mahomes year in and year out. That kind of talent, but luckily for us, it hasn't. He has just been kind of a mid quarterback. I'd like to see Will Levis become more popular than him. I think that'd be hilarious. We got him in the second round, and they had to spend the number 1 overall pick. And Will Levis said his goal is to make teams that passed up on him regret, not having had picked him. And there's a lot of teams that passed on him. I want to make the Colts regret it the most. That would be the best feeling in the world. They were the last team that might have selected him early in the first round, and then after that, it seemed like nobody really had that need for quarterback. But a lot of teams would rather have him than some of the stuff that's starting in the league right now.
So Chris, I told CJ thank you for coming on.
Oh yeah,
Uh, so um, there's actually for Chris I actually have us winning the Jacksonville game.
you got us winning that one.
I have us winning the 50 bowl.
That'd be great because that means we're on a roll at home, and that'd be our best way to get a good record is to kind of take care of those home games and get those road wins when we're playing weaker teams.
I actually have us winning that game 54-30.
Let's go. Blowout, baby. Blowout at home. Send them Kitty fans crying home.
So Chris, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think about this? Who does the Jacksonville Jaguars have at wide receiver?
I got the
They have
LSU kid, the rookie. Is it Brian Thomas
Brian
Jr.?
Thomas,
Yeah,
and then they got Gabe Davis from the Bills.
right. They got
Uh,
him. We signed
Davis.
away the guy that they really wanted, though. And Calvin
Calvin.
Ridley, we kind of messed up their offseason. We stole one from them.
Uh,
They got a lot of question marks at receiver, whether or not that rookie can take over as a 1 or 2. People
he's
think he's pretty
gonna,
good, though. He
he's
scares me a
gonna,
little bit.
Calvin Ridley's gonna make the Jaguars look stupid.
Maximus, you got us winning that game against Jacksonville at home, December 8th.
Yeah, I think I do. I think, best way I can answer that is I got asked on Twitter today, what is the most mid NFL player? It's Trevor Lawrence, man. I think he is the most blown up player in the NFL. People just constantly talk about how talented the kid is, and he's just mid at best. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins popped into my head, not because he's not a good player, just because he's never been able to elevate his game in the postseason to that next step. But I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't know why his name popped into my head too.
So, Chris, I'm definitely excited to play all the divisional teams later on in the season.
Oh yeah. But I think the game that you're most excited about is probably the December 15th game against the Bengals, because
Yeah.
I think you're probably going to try to maybe attend that game if possible. And that's going to be a huge game. If we're a competitive team, we're going to have them at home again, which I like.
I
And
think
our ex-offensive coordinator is our new head coach. So
we win that game easily. I think we win that game. We win
easily, huh?
that. We win that game.
Against the
Uh,
Super Bowl contender Cincinnati Bengals, we easily beat them. I'll take that. Shoot.
I'm gonna make a I'm gonna do a 50 burger on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Dang,
That
Bryce, you got us having a Madden type of season with Will Levis playing quarterback. Let's hope it's true, because our fans need that excitement.
so actually it's gonna be a triple burger. Six, 65-35. Titans win that one.
I got some oceanfront property in Arizona, Bryce.
You need a you need to get a triple burger for that game, Chris.
My God, if we put up 65 on the Bengals, I'm going to streak butt naked down the street. I'll tell you that right now. It may not be a sight you want to see, but it's a bet that I'm willing to put online right now. If we do, I will. We did really good against Cincinnati last year, but we got Burrow at about 65%. He was not quite himself. That was probably our biggest home win of the season last year against a banged up Bengals team. But it'd be nice if, because we have their ex-coach, maybe we know some of the ins and outs of their offense, and he can help our defense coordinator game plan, and we could scheme up against them and know what's coming and shut them down at home. That's a possibility. I could see it happening.
So, Chris, well, Jarius Sneed is going to shut down the wide receiver one.
Jamar Chase.
He shut
You got
down
Cheeto on
Jamar
T.
Chase.
Higgins, huh?
Actually, that's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is the number one wide receiver for the Bengals. T. Higgins is the number two.
A very good number 2.
They're actually very versatile. What you don't know is that, Chris, I've actually seen a lot of highlights of the Bengals wide receivers. They're actually very versatile. We're gonna use Calvin Ridley and Jamar Chase. We're actually gonna use Calvin Ridley like they did Jamar Chase with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, and we're going to use Tyler Boyd like they used Tyler Boyd, so that's going to be seamless to have him in his role. And, DeAndre Hopkins, I think he can – I hope he goes to the Hall of Fame. He's one of my favorite receivers of all time. He's always been outstanding. He's going to do his thing over there.
DeAndre Hopkins deleted his Titans post on Instagram, but let's not talk about that. There's nothing serious about that.
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
I don't I don't want to talk about it. It's nothing serious.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it. But you got us beating the Bengals, though, right?
Yeah.
Maximus, you got? Can we handle those Bengals, those Super Bowl contenders?
Yeah, I think we barely squeak out that win, but it's only because I think T. Higgins may or may not be playing at the time. He has kind of an injury uh, riddled past, so he might be injured. I think that's more wishful thinking on my part than anything else. I'm not wishing that anybody would be injured, just would give us a better chance of winning.
I never
But
think of T.
yeah,
Higgins as being an injury-prone guy, but maybe I'm not thinking of something.
he's not really super injury prone. I think he has about the same record as AJ Brown as far as games missed. So that's not too injury prone. Just a smidge. Like I said,
He
I think
gets
it's more
banged up
wishful
every once
thinking.
in a while because of the way he plays. I get you.
It,
Yeah.
it's either he's
Hey,
injured.
CJ,
Yeah, yes, Bryce.
what's your thoughts about the? Oh, we missed you for a couple of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. My internet went out.
Do you want to go back, Chris?
Just quickly. Uh, I am going to the Jaguars game in Nashville, and I hope to spend
Nice.
less money because downtown was hectic. Like I don't know why it didn't cross my mind to just do Ubers, but
I think.
I just spent so
Or you
many
could just
unnecessary.
stay downtown and walk to the game.
The- I well, I can't say where, but like a certain area, then go to downtown, then start walking, and then go down the pedestrian bridge, then to the game, and then go back.
I'm excited about. I'm excited to play all the divisional teams. I hope we win them all this year against the divisional teams because I do not like this weak ass division.
So we've gotten past. Do you think we win that Jacksonville game, CJ, at home because you're there?
I'm 1-0 at Nissan Stadium. I hope I
Good.
can go 2-0.
Okay, and then we play the Bengals the next week, December 15th at home. What are your thoughts on that game?
Uh, you see, we talk about early season Burrow. This is late season Burrow. I think the Bengals will just they'll get to us. It could be either a really just well fought game, or they could just catch us off guard and like well just what I just think it's probably like a 38-29 type game. I think they'll catch us off guard.
Do you think it helps us to have Brian Callahan as our head coach to kind of know some of what they're scheming against us on offense? You think he might be able to help our defense figure some shit out with the,
I mean, if Bengals fans wants to go back and forth to saying, well, Callahan, well, Zach Taylor the one that calls the plays, but no, it's Callahan. I just want that conversation to be over, and this game will prove it.
I like that. So after we play the Bengals at home, we're getting close to Christmas. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. We are going to go on the road for 2 divisional games in the row. The first game is going to be in Indianapolis at 12 o'clock. This is going to be week 16 against the Colts in Indy. Maximus, what do you think?
Oh, Titans sweep the Colts this year. That's just my prediction. I said that early this offseason. I think the Titans are going to sweep the Colts. And that's it.
You think Anthony Richardson makes it to week 16? Or do you think it's Joe Flacco leading the charge?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he plays an entire season. I don't see him playing 16 games. I don't know if he's hurt in the middle or you know what I mean. He's hurt on the end or whatever, but I just don't see him playing 16 games.
Chris, so that that Indianapolis Colts game, they're gonna be terrible. Colts fans are talking about Anthony Richardson like he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't think so. It's Will Levis's time to shine.
I can see CJ has some thoughts on this game. What are you thinking, CJ?
Uh, if Anthony Richardson isn't playing in Joe Flacco, it's a 30-18. But if Anthony Richardson is like having just a pretty decent season, it could be a very close game, 28-24. Titans win.
I'm gonna say
Titans
I'm
win either way.
gonna say I'm gonna say 35-21 Titans win that one.
Yeah, I'm a little bit higher on Anthony Richardson than I think you guys are, and I don't know what it is. I just think that he's gonna kind of mature, but his style is so dangerous. So, I feel like that's gonna be a huge game because I have us, but my record at the end, and my prediction is we're gonna be on the cusp of the wild card, kind of like we always are with that last game of the season, coming down to whether or not we're able to get into a final wild card spot. Depending on what happens here and there, it's going to be one of those scenarios. So I think that game against Indianapolis is going to be a big game. And if we can beat a healthy Anthony Richardson at that point in the season, I think we're a pretty good team. If they beat us and we fall to a poor record, that game may hinge on whether or not we're a good team. So I think that's a huge divisional game for us. They're all big, but give it that we have our final 3 games of the season, their divisional games, they're all going to be huge for us and our chances to hopefully, if we have improved, make that final wild card spot.
Hey Chris, can you go in the comments and read those?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of hard to read those for me.
Yeah, it was just CJ saying that I'm back, and Maximus is saying he may have to leave. Well, that's a different one. That's our private one. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of comments. That's pretty cool. Titan E was, just saying, hey, and I hear you guys good. And Will O'Neill said, what's good, CJ? Titan E says, I can't wait for the Titan Chargers. We're going to be the best ones in the South. He thinks we're going to win the division. Cousin Brian says Titans go 7-10, a conservative estimate there on the lower tier of what I think we're going to do. My internet went out. CJ he said, I'm going to that game. And then
I'm going to both Jaguars games.
Oh, cool. You live in Florida?
Yep.
That's what's up.
That's like a 20-minute drive.
Down in the swamp down there. Hot, I bet.
There's certain areas for swamps.
Oh, I know. I've been there when I was a kid. Hot as heck down there. So after we hopefully beat the Colts on December 22nd, we have another road divisional game in sunny Florida, the game that you're going to go to December 29th against the Jaguars. The weather should be perfect down there that time of year. Hopefully not too cold because I know it doesn't usually get that cold.
I have us blowing up that game for sure.
Oh, nice. You're getting on a little roll, huh?
I have us blowing it up. I have us tearing the Jacksonville Jaguars up again.
Goodness gracious. You got us blowing out a lot of teams.
Well, we tore them up in the first half, but then we slowed down the second half.
Brand new team, though. Totally different. New coach.
But let this be known. The Jaguars really like me, and I have a winning record at TIAA.
Oh,
it's
good.
Like, well, no, but it's like a bad thing. Like the Jaguars, I think it's like 4-2, or like 4-1. I think I've been only one Titans win game.
Oh, you're saying that they like you because they win when you're there.
Yep.
That sucks. They had some better teams than we did sometimes, but sometimes we just kind of choke away those games. I bet.
I would not go. It's convenient because it's an NFL game.
Yeah, you got to go if it's the Titans and you live there. I mean, there's no excuse. You're not the reason why we lost. It was probably bad coaching. And the players got to play. But Bryce has us blowing them out. I'm glad we get to play down there in December where it's nice and warm.
Don't worry, we're gonna win that game for you this time. I think you should go.
I heard Haley might also come.
I think we're gonna win that game 35-21 Titans.
Maximus, do we win that one against Trevor Lawrence or Mac Jones or whoever's down there starting the game?
Macaroni and cheese Jones.
I got a splitting with the Jaguars. So since we beat them at our home, I think they.
No.
Oh, you can't do that to me, Matt.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying. Last year I got really hyped up before the season, and this year I'm trying to keep my expectations tamped down. I'm trying to keep realistic. See, I have two-tone blue glasses, literally, like they are two-tone blue. So
Max,
everything I see is Titans.
Yeah, Maximus. Here's what you do: you get an off-season hobby, so like where you can balance. Just like you take away all the hype stuff and just be realistic on one side and your off-season hobby on the other side, so you don't just keep wasting time just being hype all the time. Because right now we're in off-season hype video season.
We are, yes.
I mean, let's be honest though. Like our team could go either way. We could be, what everybody thinks we are, which is a terrible team. But I don't think that's going to happen based on we had the best offseason in our team's history. Or we could come out and shock the world with an offense that nobody knows what's coming on any play based on the style of running backs that we have. And, it's a lot's going to hinge on the tight end and whether or not Chig can play like he did the last month of the season. And also whether or not we sign, Justin Simmons or do we sign Marcus May or who do we get to fulfill that role at safety and whether or not we add another edge rusher. But I like that our defensive coordinator is going to be more aggressive. And I think, based on the kind of guys that we signed, the linebacker from the Chargers, you turn him downhill, you use him on the edge on some plays. You get L'Jarius Sneed blitzing, like I've said 6 times in this podcast. That's how excited I am about it. Or, there's a lot of different ways that we can create pressure with Arden Key. I think we hopefully will add one more guy. I think Landry is going to be amazing. I think T'Vondre Sweat with Jeffrey Simmons, I don't know if there's going to be a more fun moment in the season than we get to see Brian Baldinger break down the first time those two guys break up the quarterback backfield and get sacks on a play. I think it's going to be hilarious to hear those guys mic'd up. I think they're going to bring a lot of injury. Cedric Gray is a huge addition to the team. If he turns out to be the guy that can wear the green dot and can be the communicator and the leader and make a lot of tackles, we may surprise some teams or we may not be that good. It just, a lot remains to be seen. A lot hinges on whether or not Will Levis can become a top tier kind of guy, and there's a lot of unknowns about him and what direction he's going to go and how talented he is and how high his ceiling can be.
Hey, Chris. Let's do the last 2 games.
We're talking about Jacksonville, and then we just have
Houston.
Houston is the last game of the season, and
I think we're gonna beat their ass.
Do you think we wear our Oilers jerseys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's at home, and we did last year, and we ended up getting embarrassed at home in that game. We should have won that game.
I was with my family, and like you could just see the emotions, but like when we got that, I think it was Damian Pierce ran for a touchdown, but it got called back. I was sitting there just silently, and I just let out like the biggest "let's go" when it got called back. But then we eventually lost.
Singletary he embarrassed us that day. We couldn't tackle anybody, and he was running all over us. I was at that game. That was brutal. Will Levis got hit sideways and he got bent upside down and he was contorted in some kind of weird pretzel formation. And
But
I was
my,
so pissed because the
my
last two
yeah,
seasons, our last game of the year against the Cowboys and the Texans were just dreadful at home.
my mom was very confused about why is the Titans wearing the Oilers, and she's thinking it's the same team. But I kept telling her not, because that was a very historical day, because just learning about the Oilers stuff.
It's our franchise, As a Titans fan, that's our that same family has owned the team the entire time. So that's our team. The Oilers belongs to the Titans. Bottom line. They can hate it if they want. That's one, and it just happens to be. You ask anybody that collects NFL memorabilia, they're all going to put that uniform in the top 5 of all time if they've been watching the NFL, especially if they're an OG like 50 and up, and they actually got to experience the Oilers. Everybody loves that uniform. So why would you not want to keep it in your legacy, in your franchise? What are you guys' records and predictions? I know what Bryce's is. Bryce, you can go first because I already know what yours is.
How many games did I say we would win?
Well, you've been telling me 11-6 all for like the last month. So I mean, that's got to be your prediction, right? Or do you think we'll go higher than that now because you added a couple of wins?
I think we'll go a little higher than that. I think we'll go 14-3.
Damn, Bryce, it's like the number 1 seed in the AFC, boy.
Oh yeah.
CJ, what is your prediction?
Without being biased or anything, just 9-8. I think we should be at the position of like either we make the playoffs or we don't. I think if we do make the playoffs, I think we know Will Levis is a guy, and anything could happen in the season, but it's either we make the playoffs or we don't. The season's a success or not, kind of like Jacksonville, but we want to be on the good side of making the playoffs.
Maximus, what's your prediction?
I think a lot of Titans fans are giving themselves too much expectations for this year. I think if we don't make the playoffs this year, it's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's not a failure. Though I do think we are going to make the playoffs. I think we're going to go into the last game 9-6. I think we're going to win against Houston. It's going to be a huge game, probably a flex game, Thursday night or Sunday night football. And I think we walk out with the win at 10-6, making the playoffs as wild card.
Well, it would be 10-6 going on 11-6, or it would be 9-7 going on 10-7, which might be a little bit more of what you think. There are 17 games now.
Yeah, I did. My math isn't great.
No, so you think 10-7 or 11-6?
10-7. My bad, man.
No, that's good, brother. I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, my prediction is the same as CJ's. I say 9-8. And
I had to count it like 4 times.
What's that? Yeah, it's all good, brother.
I said I had to count it like 4 times. It's all good.
I got the gist. I think 9-8, and I think if we are going into that last game of the season with the wild card on the line, that I do think we live in a simulation, because that's happened like 6 out of the last 7 years, something like that's happened.
At least 3.
We haven't seen a backup. Yeah. We haven't seen a backup play since Blaine Gabbert versus the Colts.
That game when we had that game too, and he threw a pick six, I think. Oh man, there's so many haunting memories. I've been watching them since I was.
I started watching when they were up to, then stopped watching, then start watching again. That was when I first started to pay attention to the Titans.
Well, I went to the Super Bowl in 2000. I saw the game where we lost. So that's why I'm such a diehard. I've been through all of it. I was at the first ever Titans home game against the Bengals. I went to the Music City Miracle game. My dad went to every playoff game that year that we went to the Super Bowl, which was, obviously our first year as the Tennessee Titans after we transformed from the Tennessee Oilers in Vanderbilt Stadium. We go right to the top, and we go from the best moment of all time in NFL history to the lowest moment of all time in 3 weeks. It was the most surreal moment of my life. So that's why I've been chasing them for all these years.
And I have a cool story to tell you about the Titans game that I went to, Chris, about 2 years ago when I was on the
When you
field.
got famous.
When, when I was on the field, right? I'll have to send Matson the pictures though for sure, and um, I'll send him the pictures.
I think that was like the first time like I ever saw you ever, and that's how I like found out about our friend group and stuff.
Um, I went to um, so Matson the Titans actually gave me free tickets for the game, and so I got to sit in the visitors section of the game, and I got to watch it from the mid 40-yard line.
Those are excellent seats.
I have a video on my YouTube channel if you want to watch it.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I love that video. It actually brought me to almost tears the other night when I watched it. It was so good.
So,
Yeah.
Chris, this year when I go to a game, we're definitely gonna go We're gonna go karaoke after a Titans game.
Hell yeah, get some deep dish pizza.
Wait, where?
We're gonna find a place. You know, there's got to be
Oh.
somewhere. I grew up in Nashville. I grew up near Nashville, but we'll find something.
I just hope to do more when I go back.
Rooftop bar.
Yeah, but
Maxim,
21.
Maxim, are you going to any games this year?
Yes. I don't know which ones yet. I know I'll be at the Green Bay game because my father-in-law is a huge Green Bay fan, and I'm gonna buy him tickets to go to it. So
Oh man, you gonna bring the enemy into our home?
I can't help it, man. Hey, look, dude, you know that's my wife's dad, dog. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep him on the.
Any road games,
Keep him
Maximus?
on
You
the
gonna go
good
to
side.
you gonna come to LA and meet up with us or what?
I don't know that I'll go that far. I do live in Tennessee. I live on the eastern side of Tennessee, though, so I'm close to like Atlanta, and I don't think we don't play Atlanta this year.
You can come to the Jacksonville game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could go to the Jacksonville game. That would be about a 7 or 8 hour drive. That wouldn't be that bad. I know Kansas City. Well, no, we don't play Kansas City this year. Dang it!
No.
I'm trying to
California
sit
may
here
not
and
be
think
your
of one
cup of
that's
tea,
close.
but that SoFi Stadium is something else to behold.
Oh, dude, no, I would love to come out to Southern California, man. It's
Oh
sunny.
yeah, Hollywood and you got Venice Beach and Santa Monica Pier. Oh, it's so sick.
Yeah, well, I've been there twice, but I wouldn't mind going for a game. I bet that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We get to see Harbaugh get mad when we tear him up out there. We get all those fans going crazy. We get loud out there, man. It's hilarious.
I wonder if we'll be able to hear Morocco from the stands because of how many there isn't that many Chargers fans.
Right. They're not as good as the Rams fans either. The Rams kind of get more of the glitz and the glamour, like the more stars show up for those games and stuff. The Chargers are kind of like the B list.
Well, yeah.
You know what I
They're the
mean?
Jets.
Shout
that's
out to my guy Chili Pepper. He's gonna be there.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Chili Pepper. Shout out to the California Titans fans. Shout out to Eric and Hike. There's a bunch of us, a bunch of good dudes in our fan base. I think we got and chicks too. I didn't mean to exclude the ladies, but we have really good fans, women and men, Titan fans, just good people in general, and like, really cool, get along, treat each other good. I love our fan base so much.
And Chris, I'm gonna end it right here, and then I'm gonna start the group chat call.
Okay, but one thing I was just thinking, if we do make the wild card, I was kind of looking. We had to play Baltimore, we had to play, I'm looking at these teams. It might be a wild card. Maybe the Steelers. I'm just thinking about who we would.
No.
You know it's going to be Baltimore. I mean, they can't write a better story.
Either we get a wild card or divisional.
No, divisional would be my dream come true, guys. You have no idea.
I think we can beat the Ravens with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Well, what do you guys think about Henry? Because I think, like, with Lamar, I think that's gonna really help him out so much. Like, but I don't know how much it's gonna impact. But I think it's gonna be different for him. But to have somebody where you don't know if it's the quarterback's gonna run it or if it's Derrick, that's gonna be cool.
It'll be good for the first like 6 weeks until the league kind of figures it out.
You
That's
really
my
think you
thought.
can figure that out though? Like if Henry,
doesn't get his 20 carries, he's not gonna be as effective. We as Titans fans know that.
So, Chris,
what about Lamar though? He might be more effective.
So we almost been on here for 2 hours. It looks like.
We're about to hit the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, that shit flew by.
It looks like we've been on here for 2 hours.
Yeah, we're just getting started. No, I'm just kidding. I know we got to wrap it up. I could talk football for the rest of my life, though. I like studying it and learning about it, and I learned a lot from you guys, honestly.
I'm in my learning stage of, seeing through biases and just like knowing that I can watch football without having to go on YouTube or Twitter just to validate my opinion, because I'm now starting to make my own opinion.
Thank you guys for coming on.
You're welcome, Bryce.
Yep.
Love you, buddy.
Great show.
Thank you, man.
I'll definitely get you back on next week, Chris.
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep this thing rolling.
Next week we have another special guest.
I see you over there smiling. It must be somebody very special.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Blaine Bishop to see if he wants to come on again.
I love Blaine Bishop. He gave me a heart attack at that Super Bowl because we didn't know if he was okay or not. Yeah, he got hurt in the Super Bowl. I was at the game and I hate to say it, I'm 42. I was 18 and I almost started crying because it was so emotional. We were coming back and I think we were down by, I don't even know, like 3 points or 4 points. I can't remember what was going. It had to be 3 because we tied the game up at 16 before they went and scored that touchdown before we went down the field. He got hurt somewhere right in the middle of us coming back. And Marcus Robertson was out for that game too. If we would have had those two dudes like Marcus Robertson, we would have killed them. Anyway.
We would have killed the Rams.
We should have beat the. I mean, we were down a safety in that game. People don't think about that. Also, I don't even want to bring it up, but one of our players got busted and arrested the night before the game. We ain't. I don't want to go say nothing because it's another.
Oh, who was it that got arrested?
We ain't gonna talk about it. We moved on.
He doesn't want to be stuck in the past.
No.
This is 20 years ago, man. Over 20 years ago, man.
Yeah. I finished high school 3 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like you got some media chops, CJ. You got a good. You keep learning about the game, man. I like how you talk about it. It's nice. And Maximus, you're a dope fan, and I tell you love the Titans. Like, look at your setup. That's just crazy. Who else has a better? Now, there's like a 3D mirror back there of the Titans or something. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest.
So, Chris, we gotta wrap it up, buddy.
All right, we're wrapping it up right at the 2 hour mark. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to push it right to that edge.
All right, guys, CJ and Maxim, you guys take care.
Thank
Y'all
you.
tighten the hell up. It was good
Tighten
talking with
up.
y'all.
Tighten up, guys.
All right, bless.
Keep calm and tighten the hell off.